Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game that we're making! When we last left off, we got ourselves a few monsters that are all statted up. Whether they're statted up correctly is going to be kind of... we'll have to figure it out as we go along. In the meantime, I just wanted to bring up something that Sir Rosser said. Sir Rosser says that because, according to some legends, Amazon warriors amputated one of their breasts to make it easier to do archery. Probably not even remotely accurate, but the lizard man sprite would sync up with that. I have my doubts that would actually be the case. It would make him a little lopsided for one thing, and second, do they have the medical prowess necessary to handle an entire, like, all the blood loss that would be involved with that? That sounds unlikely. But then again, it is a legend, so it must be true. Except in a lizard woman's case. We're gonna say it's not true with them, because I don't want to be mean to them. I mean, we're killing them, but that's just because they're trying to kill us. It's once again a situation of us versus them. So I'm gonna load back up to where I had my last save file for my test play, so that we can start at the beginning of this dungeon and see what it's like to just travel through it. So, first thing to do here is defense up on Jenny. Create a quick save, and let's see what going through here is kind of like. So we got some ants. I'm going to change the battle speed. I'm gonna keep it at fast because the next option over is simply no display, and I prefer to be able to see what spells the monsters are using. So let's go ahead and see how this turns out. We're just using some regular attacks. The player is, like, lazy about attacking. Well, that takes care of them. That wasn't supposed to happen. New magic learned. Who learned what? Hardier. You're not supposed to know hardier yet. Okay, let's back up and figure out what's going on here. Do I have to start the game over again because of what all this stuff was said at when I started the test play? Because if so, that is dumb. And I will not do it. We'll just ignore hardier until level 9. Yeah, it's set at level 9. Somehow, though, it's being learned early. Probably because of the changes that I made initially. So, we'll just ignore it. Here, give me another... yeah. We'll see how this one goes. Once again, the player's kind of being lazy a bit. Turn order wound up a little bit differently this time, though. And this time they're not blowing themselves up. I was hoping it wouldn't be against Monkey C. So, we'll ignore the new magic learned. Just for funsies, we'll go ahead and have this health. Oh yeah, something I remembered I wanted to do here. While I'm thinking about it, I want to make it so that you can only read the sign from the side that has writing. So, we'll have have it be checkable from below. And resume from there. We're going to ignore the big old giant cave for the moment, and we're going to kind of move along here. Let's get into one encounter before we grab that treasure chest. So here we have these guys. Let's see what it's like fighting the ratish. Nice crit. And you missed. I set your agility, right? Was that just unlucky? I will double check your agility, because I'm pretty sure I said it. Oop. No, I forgot to set your agility. Well, dang. Alright, what about the lizard woman? I set your agility, but somehow forgot to get the ratish's agility. Alright, so as a reminder here, what is our current agility? $45 and $40. So since they're kind of the speedy critters, we'll say... Well, how much does your agility go up per level, Jenny? A lot. Not as much as Monkey seems, but yeah. So 45 and 40. I want it to be kind of speedy, so we'll say, what's the lizard woman at? 37? Well, that ain't right. Or is it? Yeah, that is right, actually. But this one is going to be speedy, so we'll say 43. Yeah, 3. So the monkey will be a little bit speedier, but there's still a chance that the radish will attack first. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Also, while I'm thinking about it, what color is that? Yeah, that's wrong. Ah, come on. I can handle these menus totally. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to go ahead and grab this ice rod, and I'm kind of curious how much damage it's going to cause comparatively. I still wound up walking into it. It is a little time consuming going in and out of test play, but it's better to do this now rather than forget about it completely. Okay, so we got the ice rod. What's it going to do once we equip it? So it's going to be like the same as the fire rod as far as attack power goes, but it's ice elemental. So in theory, it's going to cause more damage. How much more damage? Well, let's find out here. It should have caused more damage. Did I not set the element of the fire stick and ice stick? Because that is what it seems like. Yeah, it's still fire elemental. That ain't right. Get these fixed up. There. And they can only be equipped by Monkey C. The water stick's going to be like super rare, so don't drop that. Unlikely that the player will sell it, but we'll do that. Okay, let's try this again. With Ice Stick on hand, actually, would probably make the Iron Giants a little bit easier. So what is this going to do now? Instead of 17, 18, it causes 35. So yeah, it basically one-shots those things. Kind of nice. So the player is going to come up here, fall in to find out that's a hole. Can't do anything there. Eventually they notice this gap over here, and this is where they will eventually make their way to where the fire dragon is. I might want to have these guys give a little bit more experience, because ideally they would gain a couple levels while they're here, and so far we haven't even gained one. There it is! And they're learning the new magic properly. So what magic have I set it so that they learn at level 6? Dance. Oh yeah, confuse all. That's handy. And medicine, which is cure all. So before moving on from here... Actually... let's take a look at the Iron Giants. We want these guys to be tough. Easier thanks to the power of the Ice Stick. So let's see what we're going to do here. Guard of 20. What is the guard of everybody else right now? 7, 10, 3. We'll kind of figure this out as we go along. I'll give them max HP just for the moment. What sort of attack do they have? Just a normal attack. Yeah, that makes sense. These guys are just brute force and type of enemies. Lizard Woman's got an attack of 60. These guys are going to be kind of wicked strong, I would assume. So instead of 60, we'll say maybe 75 for the moment. They're also going to be kind of slow. We'll set them at the same speed as the fire ants. Oop. No status resistance. They would definitely give a good amount of experience. So probably something like... we'll say 15 for the moment. And how much money would they give? 20. They'd be tough as nails, kind of, but want them to really kind of be worth fighting there. And of course there's that chance of acquiring the giant shield, which actually... maybe I'll set that at 30% chance of dropping. Maybe. We'll see. So, let's resume. So let's see what fighting these guys is like at this very moment. Just with physical attacks starting off. Well, the critical hit is not going to tell us anything. So 12 damage against you, 19 damage against you, kind of dangerous to be sure. Okay, how much damage are you causing normally? I want to add these up here. So 33, 7. So that gives me an idea of how much health you would have to have. 33 and 7. That adds up to 40. So maybe 60 would be good? Yeah, probably set them at 60. So let's see what taking these guys down is actually like. While we're at it, maybe also try out using that ice stick we got equipped. And you can probably use the... Where's the fire stick? Well, that spells. Where's the fire stick? There it is. Broke on the first try. Doesn't that figure? That is the disadvantage to having magical weapon type items. It's unlikely, but it is possible that it'll break. So let's go ahead and redo that, but without the stick breaking. As a reminder, I've got the stick set to a 10% chance of breaking. So it's risky to throw them out there like that. But if you're like in a bind, probably worth doing, especially for the fire stick. So, because you're probably going to be getting plenty of money to buy a bunch of fire sticks. Still hanging on. Got the giant shield. I wonder how many giant shields we could get in, say, 3 battles. I'm gonna go in here and turn on Invincible. Make it so that we're invulnerable to damage. And for funsies, use the fire stick again. So, we're not immune to taking damage, we just can't die with that option turned on. That's actually a pretty good thing because it means that we still have sort of a way of testing how much damage these guys can cause without worrying about dying. Oh yeah, I forgot about that counterattack. So technically we fought these guys 3 times and have only received 1 shield. As a reminder, this invincibility option is only available in test play. So anybody playing this game for realsies, they're not going to have that. Speed this up a little. So, I pretty much fought 4 battles with these guys and only found the 1 shield. Come to think of it, how much is that shield going to be useful here? So, an extra 10 points of defense, so she'd be taking 5 less damage, I'd say? Let's see what that looks like in battle. Ideally, they will attack Jenny. Not a bad amount. Now imagine if she wound up having 2 giant shields. That would definitely be helpful. So, I think that's pretty good so far. Sir Rosser says, if there's ever a remote chance that an item is going to break when used, I'm never going to use it until the final battle. Might as well not have it unless it's good enough to be effective during endgame. Yeah, that is kind of the risk whenever you have one of these breakable items. But I kind of wanted to have that risk in this particular situation. At the very least, the risk is not so much there with the fire rods, because you can just buy more. So what do I want to do from here? Well, I suppose I need to get the horned whale all balanced out. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So the horned whale currently normal attacks usually, but also sometimes makes us fall asleep. And has a rare chance of dropping the whale horn. I definitely want that to be rare, considering it can put all enemies to sleep. So I want it to be relatively slow. Slower than everybody else, so we'll get that agility in there. This one will definitely have some amount of resistance. 20% resistance to status afflictions. Because it's a big old thing of blubber. And on that note, it would certainly have a decent amount of defense as well. Maybe not as much as the Iron Giant, but certainly a good amount. We'll say 15. And since there's one of these guys, they have plenty of HP. We'll say 120. And MP. How much magic does the whale song use? 10 MP? How many times do I want the whale to be able to use that then? Maybe twice. Would probably have a pretty strong attack, but we don't want it to be as strong as the Iron Giant. So, aside from that, 60, 55, 51. Stronger than the Lizard Woman, probably. Not by a whole lot. We'll say maybe 66. And this thing will be worth a decent amount of experience since it's only one enemy. Since these guys give 15, Horned Whale will say gives 25. And in regards to money, 24, 8, 5. $30. Given the circumstances of what we can earn from the whale, probably is worth some amount of money. Which reminds me, how much is that horn worth? Did I put a price on it? I don't think I did. No. So if we were to sell this, it'd probably be worth... So if it's 1,000, that's the price to buy, so selling it would be worth 500. Or we could have it be worth 1,000 to sell. Whatever half of 2,500 is, we'll go with that. Now I'll definitely want to kind of figure things out to do in the dungeon further. In regards to, like, experience, I want to adjust that so the player's more likely to gain a level. So let's go back up here. This is where we'd encounter some stuff. Let's see if we can get the... There it is! So if we just use regular attacks, including having the ice rod equipped, what are we dealing with here? How many turns is what I want to know. By the way, the attack animation of enemies is predetermined. Each enemy sprite has its own attack animation. So that was one turn to try to get it down. I'd probably want it to take a little bit longer than that. We'll say 150 points of health. Odds are, the player is going to find it pretty easy to figure out how to get to this secret chest. So I can go ahead and balance things assuming that the player has gotten that item. I'm a little curious what it would be like fighting those iron giants without the stick. Probably something to figure out eventually. For now though, I think it's time to take a break from battle balancing. We need to get up here and finally finish this situation with the dragon. So, we're gonna go on our next episode break, and when we come back, we'll get this whole situation with the dragon all fixed up, make it be a little bit nicer looking. We're not gonna have the fire separate from itself anymore. I've got an idea.